A car has crashed through multiple fences and smashed into a shop front in Melbourne's north. A hairdresser on Sussex Street in Pascoe copped the brunt of the damage, the vehicle crashing into the front of the business, leaving a trail of destruction as it went. The 21-year-old driver fled the scene, however, was found nearby and taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It is believed the vehicle was stolen from Coburg earlier in the night.
A Perth man accused of killing a Thai teenager and hiding her body in a suitcase had his guns taken away by police before moving overseas. Until 8 months ago, Simon Peter Carmen was living in Rockingham. His neighbours today saying they're not surprised by the charges.
At the centre of an international murder investigation in Thailand, Simon Peter Carmen is a long way from home.
I saw him on the news and I know this guy somewhere. It's horrific.
Just 8 months before, this is where the accused killer spent years living, an unsuspecting industrial unit in Rockingham.
He sold all his stuff and disappeared.
Neighbours say he was surviving on a disability pension after suffering a neck injury while truck driving. He told them he was leaving Perth to have surgery in Thailand.
A bit of strange man, I would say.
7 News has been told he openly spoke about owning guns and had been in trouble with the law before. Police suspended his firearm licence a year before he left for Thailand. He lost an appeal to get them back. In August last year, he was fined for driving without a licence. He had also been hit with a disorderly charge that was later dropped.
There's a few people around here that aren't surprised by what's happened.
But nothing quite like this. The 45-year-old charged with murder in Pattaya, accused of killing a teenage girl and dumping her body in a suitcase just last week. Carmen arrested at Bangkok airport before he was set to board a Jetstar flight back to Perth. Other locals say they're in shock, telling us Simon was quiet and kept to himself, spending most of his time inside the unit. He wasn't working and often kept himself busy running errands for people, including walking a neighbour's dog. Tonight he's in custody awaiting an initial detention hearing. If convicted, he could face the death penalty.
First to the shocking domestic violence allegations levelled against a police security officer. Deanna Williams joins us live. Dee, he's accused of threatening to kill his wife with his own service weapon.
Rosanna, he was on duty on one of those occasions, but she was too scared to report it because, in her own words, he worked for the police. Tim Waverley Morrison is standing trial here in the District Court. The judge heard during the course of their marriage his controlling behaviour escalated to verbal, physical and financial abuse. The prosecutor said on one occasion, while on shift and in uniform, Morrison placed the barrel of his police-issue firearm to his wife's chest, allegedly telling her, "This is how easily I could hurt you." On a second, he held a kitchen knife to her neck and demanded to see her phone. The prosecutor said Morrison fat-shamed her and discouraged her from seeing family and friends. The 36-year-old father of two is charged with aggravated assault and threatening to kill or endanger life. The alleged offences occurred at Aldinga Beach between June and October 2019. Morrison's interstate lawyer said his client strongly disputes the allegations and his wife's credibility will be put to the test, and she'll be a key witness during the 4-day trial.
Crews needed more than an hour to bring this blaze under control at Werribee South. Flames tore through a rubbish pile and then impacted a shed at the O'Connors Road property. A smoke warning was issued for the area. A wild weekend house party has come to a violent end with a woman glassed by a wine bottle at Point Cook. Police arrested a 32-year-old woman. The victim did not need hospital treatment. And Kensington locals are fuming at vandalism in their community park. Residents woke to find the lawn at Station Park on Rankins Road torn up, most likely by someone on a motorbike.
A bizarre rescue's unfolded in Sydney's west. Emergency crews were called early this morning after locals reported a car crashing on the Prospect Highway at Pemulwuy. The 30-year-old driver had abandoned his car but was eventually found 200 metres away down an embankment. Paramedics and police joined forces to get him to a waiting ambulance. for mandatory testing.
Travel plans ground to a halt for travellers going in and out of Dubbo today. The airport shut down due to a bomb scare. Authorities say the threat was made on an inbound Qantas plane from Sydney this morning. The aircraft landed safely and all 74 passengers and crew disembarked without incident. The police bomb disposal unit was called in to sweep the plane. The airport reopened after a couple of hours, but there were ongoing flight delays.
A manhunt is underway after a ram raid in Melbourne South. A shop in Mentone was smashed into just before 4 o'clock this morning before the vehicle burst into flames and the offenders ran off. Fire crews were able to quickly put out the flames, but the business has been reduced to ruins. A lot of damage done, and police are now continuing the hunt for the group in the car.
Thieves have stolen vintage Pokemon cards during a ram raid at Thornbury. Burglars smashed a car into the trading store on St George's Road just before 5 a.m, stealing dozens of rare cards in under 4 minutes.
You know, you don't have to target a home. Let's go to a shop. Let's get as much stock as we can. It's very easy to sell. It's very hard to trace.
The popular collectibles are valued in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Meanwhile, more questions will be asked of child safety over the death of a baby boy in Bundaberg 2 years ago. Police say the 4-month-old was shaken. The infant was flown to Queensland's Children's Hospital, where he died from his injuries. Authorities say the family was known to child safety.
There are some dealings with child services, child safety prior to the death.
A 22-year-old man has now been charged with murder and torture.
A Thai woman working for an airline has been charged, accused of importing more than 1 kilo of heroin into Melbourne. The drugs have a street value of $500,000. Police allege she hid the drugs in the lining of 12 tote bags. She's been remanded in custody. If found guilty, she faces 25 years in jail.
The former partner of a Maroubra grandmother with her murder, Christine Dawson, was found dead inside her unit in November 2024. After an 18-month investigation, 52-year-old Shane Tucker was today charged with domestic violence-related murder and refused bail.
Hunt continues this morning for a man who torched a luxury Mercedes in a southwest Sydney driveway. Not scared of being seen, this brazen firebug is in high vis, doused the car in accelerant before setting it alight in Roselands around 1 a.m. yesterday morning. A Toyota Hilux parked on the street was also covered in fuel but not set on fire. It's believed the firebug left the scene in a light-coloured sedan.
A woman has been charged with stealing 100 head of cattle and farm supplies from a property in the South Burnish over 3 years. Police searched a property and found a tractor and barbed wire they allege was taken too. The 55-year-old woman will face court in August.